Another great pay-per-view from AEW. But for some Canadians, they might deem this the worst pay-per-view since Survivor Series 1997. But it could have been worse. Kyle O'Reilly could have lost too, right? This year's Dynasty might be my favorite when it comes to a combined match card perspective. Multiple match of the night or even year contenders. And even the bottom half contains some really good pro wrestling. I'm Duke from Duke It Out, here to rank every match at AEW Dynasty 2026 from its worst to its best. Before I begin, please make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more great wrestling content. Number 9, The Dogs vs. The Conglomeration. For the positive sides, it's wonderful to see Kyle O'Reilly returning, along with winning a title his first night back. Unfortunately, there's also the very sad occasion of Gabe Kidd injuring his shoulder during the match. And while it seemed like that could have motivated the decision on the finish, it seems like the Conglomeration were always planned to win, which somehow makes it worse. Not to help that this was the match out of any that could have been saved for TV or even benefited. But Canada needed a little cheering up. Number 8, Ricochet vs. Jericho. Even with it being at a lower spot, this was a really good match and surely exceeded any haters' expectations. Jericho did some great interaction with the crowd in the beginning, which probably helped associate to the awesome pop for his lion salt. And Ricochet had some great heel mannerisms and very smooth spots as usual. It did get a bit too long, but was orchestrated well with the right result. A great in-ring return for Jericho. And that shooting star codebreaker spot ruled. Number 7, Tekla vs. Jamie Hayter. These two unfortunately got the typical issue with an AEW women's match on pay-per-view. That it had a bad placement on the card. If this was one of the first two matches booked, the crowd would have been a lot louder. And they really went to work for this match, bringing in a ton of brutal spots on the inside and outside of the ring. The outcome was easier to guess, but the consistent anger from both and brutal hits added the intensity that the build-up kind of lacked. And the post-match tension can excuse a rematch. And if they get one on TV soon, I can see it being a lot better. Number 6, FTR vs. Cage and Cope. The second tag team match between the pairs is practically on the equal levels of great as their last one. And at this spot on the list, it shows that this pay-per-view had beyond quality. FTR showed off the great heel tag team work that shows off why they've been hailed as one of the best teams in the business for over a decade. And Christian seems to do more heel tactics as a babyface now, which I really love. And Cope did some great work as well. But what will mainly be remembered by him from this match was him getting busted open hard way with the belt. I mean, it was instantaneous. I really hope that Copeland's okay and that he isn't legitimately concussed. But beyond that, they did a great job with the finish. And I'm sure this will get concluded with the third match that'll involve something you can climb on. Number 5, the TNT Championship Casino Gauntlet. The Casino Gauntlet is one of my favorite stipulations in AEW. And while many have contained some unpredictability, none quite like this. The more wrestlers that came out, the more legitimate options of a winner, which honestly made up for the lack of surprise entrants. Whether it was Ciampa, Roosh, Bandito, Speedball, Pac, Yuta, and everyone else all had solid reasons to take it and run with it, which made the shocking finish of Kevin Knight taking the gold even more sweet. Such a well-deserved win that I can't wait to see the future for in this reign. Because with someone like the talent of Kevin Knight, they're pretty much endless. But almost all end in feuding with Speedball, which you will get no complaints from me about. Number 4, Darby Allin vs. Andrade El Idolo. A fantastic combination of some absolutely brutal spots that go beyond the realms that they even need to risk, while also showing off their fantastic pro wrestling abilities. Like that fall-away moonsault counter into a crossface, which was one of my favorite spots of the night. Along with some great combinations of their character work, with Darby recklessly interfering in all of Andrade's showboaty spots. And they got the right result in a brilliant way to not damage Andrade's momentum at all. It perhaps launched him to higher levels, since the post-match stuff definitely signaled a face turn. Including Andrade being very excited about his victory. I'm not zooming in on it. I'm recording this before Dynamite, so hopefully Darby beats MJF in Washington.
And with the headlock takeover. Fuck yes!
Number 3, Jon Moxley vs. Will Ospreay. Two of the highest statures in the company exploiting why they have that spot in 18 minutes. Ospreay immediately hitting the hidden blade was such a brilliant way to get it going, where it had me convinced that we could be seeing a glorified squash match.
Oh, they were wanting to save that glorified squash.
But they told a great story with Ospreay being the only one to take things personally, which cost him just pinning Mox for the win multiple times, which opened the door for Mox to get more and more brutal, doing as much spots to damage the repaired neck of Ospreay as he could, with Will desperately selling the urge to punish Moxley. And that hatred was Ospreay's downfall. While it doesn't really give answers to whether Mox will go back toward the heel route, it's a brilliant and audibly shocking match. Number 2, MJF versus Kenny Omega. The God versus the Devil. You can't get a main event bigger than that. The entrances for both really made the atmosphere more eventful, and they performed like it was one of the most pivotal matches of their lives, bringing in touches of what made their previous match so amazing, and really kept one-upping each other consistently in a much longer length. Kenny's strikes and aerial moves were always pitch perfect, and the way he was holding onto his gut by the end made it so concerning. And MJF continues to nail his classic mannerisms, while using a lot more of an evil intelligence to it than usual, which was really fitting here. And the shenanigans could have been bothersome, but it was a great excuse to have MJF technically kick out of the one-winged angel, but come on. And the devastation of Kenny losing didn't take away from this being an incredible main event. And number 1, the Young Bucks versus Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. I had high expectations for this match, but I'm not sure if I was thinking this could reach match of the night levels. But honestly, I loved almost everything about this. From the phenomenal tag team wrestling, the slightly comedic sequences, or the way I popped for the finish. And we truly got the best of what we'd want from these competitors. Okada nailed the moves we love to see from him, while having his heel charisma be almost at its best here. The third Young Buck spot frickin' killed me. Takeshita was on point with all of his spots, along with his charisma being perfected during the finale. And the tension along with the teamwork between the two is just as good as it's always been. And the Young Bucks brought some great energy and awesome tag spots, with Nick Jackson trying to solidify himself as the greatest hot tag in professional wrestling at this point. I had a blast with this from beginning to end, and what came from it was almost exactly what I was hoping for, and then some. So that was my ranking for AEW Dynasty 2026. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and duke out your Dynasty opinions in the comments below.